and then do those type of things not because of fear, but because of love. You know, the amount of grace that God has for me personally and for each of us individually is enough for me to give that same type of grace to everybody else around me, especially if I don't understand them, you know, as a person. I would seek to understand them. And if we just have differences, we just have differences, you know.
So can I ask you something, my man? And
Yep.
I usually ask every religious person this after they
Hmm.
say, "Hey, I've talked to God or I've communicated with Him. He's revealed Himself to me. Answer my prayer, or whatever."
Hmm.
Well, I'm not going to say what about the homeless guy, even though that homeless guy's in bad shape. I'm going to
Hmm.
always go to like the unnecessary suffering, like a kid being burned alive or a kid being raped in a basement.
Yeah.
It's very strange that the God's not revealing Himself to that person. Because if I was God, no disrespect, my man, but if I'm looking
Hmm.
down and seeing you and then the little girl, my focus is not going to be on you at all
Yeah. Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm going straight for the girl. But it's getting
Hmm.
justified. Everybody's saying, well, I don't know. He works in mysterious ways. I can't answer that. So that's what I would feel bad believing in a God while he's leaving this person over here hanging.
Well,
I would feel
yeah.
guilty.
My thing is, I don't believe he leaves those people hanging.
Well, no, he obviously did though. I mean, if the little girl is going through what she's going through, she just got. I mean, the other guys did that yesterday. I said the guy at the top of the buildings on 9/11 had to jump, so his prayer obviously didn't work. And he said, well, the prayer did work. And I was like, what? I'm thinking that's what I'm saying, guys. If the prayer worked, she wouldn't have went through that. He would have came down and stopped it, like he intervened with this guy. He revealed himself to this guy over here. He stopped this. He changed plans for this person, but nothing for the little girl over here. That's what I'm saying,
So,
my man. I couldn't follow a God after that.
yeah. So personally, I believe that's human understanding and it's natural. I have human understanding myself. So I hear what you say about the girl in the basement, and you know, even that same analogy, help God speaking to me or God speaking to the girl in the basement. God, why didn't you speak to the girl in the basement? You know, and I feel like that's where church or quote unquote religion has failed us because instead of asking God that question, like I just did, we revert to, oh, he must not love us the way he says he does. And I don't want to serve this God anymore. I don't want to worship this God. So that's the key right there. It's like church kind of puts a barrier between the source and yourself, your
Well, no,
person, that isn't necessarily there.
no, the
And it
church,
makes you feel like you can't question God or ask
the
God
church got
questions.
nothing to do with it. So let me use this analogy.
Hmm.
If it's a dad, I use this all the time. If it's a dad, or if it's anybody who's like walking past an alley on a late night and they see something happen to a little girl in the alley, like the just horrified thing she's going through, she's
Hmm.
screaming and crying.
Hmm.
If I walked past that and didn't try to stop it, or at least call the cops or something, and just didn't do nothing, I'm really hoping that you and everybody else would just scold me. I mean, have me locked up and never want to have nothing to do with me again. And everybody agrees and says, yes, I would. So that's what I'm trying to apply to the God
I,
thing.
I I would agree too, but again, that's from human understanding. So this how I like to look at it, or what I like to how I like to position it. Right? If you draw a stick figure on a piece of paper and you give that stick figure consciousness, okay, no matter how much you try to tell it, or you know how many books it reads, or this or that, how much education it gets, it will never be able to conceptualize a sphere or a cube, a three-dimensional object.
Real quick, man.
Hmm.
I did this yesterday, and we kept running away from it.
Hmm.
If God can answer a prayer for something very silly, helping somebody find their keys, or they were sitting at home and they were sad, and He revealed Himself to them. I want to clarify. That's the claims I'm going off of. So now we know.
Hmm.
Now we know that God is watching. He's looking down, and He saves this person, or He does this. He answers prayers. That's
Hmm.
official. So again, back to my point. If He's looking down at you and He's looking down at a little girl, there's no need to dance around this. Because remember, I just said if me or you walked past that little girl and didn't do nothing, people would jump all over us. The God's doing the same thing. He's
No,
answered the prayer
but
for this, but He's not answered the prayer for a
yeah,
girl, and you're just kind of justifying it.
no, I'm
So
not
I need to
justifying it.
know.
I'm disagreeing. I think he does answer those prayers, but just not in the way a human would answer the
My
prayer.
man, that I got to be honest with you, man.
It sounds disingenuous, I know, but it goes
that's
back to my.
insane.
That's because a
You,
lot.
but you,
So for one, time and this is this Einstein theory of relativity that I'll get this from, but time doesn't necessarily work how we perceive it.
my man,
So
again,
yeah.
I'm trying to. God's looking down.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking down at this person, and he
Mm-hmm.
sees the little girl in the basement. Okay.
Yeah.
He picks the person over here who's not in nearly as much suffering as the little girl. That's what I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to figure out why
But
he's looking down and he's
but
going.
on whose accord?
What do you mean, God?
Like I'm
He's
saying,
looking down.
no, it's not, guys. This is subjective to human, to yours, to what you're saying.
What?
So